What's up, everybody? Welcome to System Crafters. I'm David Wilson, and we're back with another Spring Lisp Game Jam 2024 stream. In fact, it's the last stream we'll be doing for the Spring Lisp Game Jam 2024 because the deadline is tomorrow morning, and today is the last day to get things done in the game before we can make our submission. So we've got a few things left to accomplish today. Thankfully, we did make some progress yesterday in fixing up some of the problems that we had with entity behavior execution. We got it working now so that, excuse me, when an entity needs to go pick up a particular item, they will go look for a key needed for the door they have to get through. So they're a little bit smarter now. They can, actually pathfind their way to success on that front. But there's still much left to do. We had an issue yesterday where the hero was sort of teleporting around in strange ways. There are some bugs with the pathfinding algorithm, and we still haven't implemented all the behaviors yet to make a full, complete game loop possible. So we're gonna try to get as much done as possible today, and I'll show you some of what we've been working on, or what I've been working on behind the scenes, and also some contributions from Trev as well. And we'll get into that in just a second. But before that, I'd like to say hello to the folks who are here so far. Let me jump over to the IRC. If you like watching the stream and chatting, but you would prefer to chat in a more comfortable environment, you can definitely check out the System Crafters live channel on irc.libra.chat. That is the more or less official place where the stream chats occur, but you can also just chat on Twitch or YouTube as you might normally do. So hello to Thanos, Glenn, Benoit. And I'm not seeing any messages. Oh, hey, Arnaud. That's the first message I've seen on the YouTube sign. So Arnaud's there. And if you're on Twitch, please say hello as well. Let me know if the stream is doing okay, like frame rate wise and quality wise. I just adjusted the output stream bitrate, and I don't know if it's made it better or worse. But I keep getting complaints from Restream about maybe the bitrate being too high, so I dialed it down a little bit. Don't know what effect that has on things, but just let me know if it does anything weird while the stream goes on. So for those of you who may or may not have been following so far, I mean, I think all of you who are here have been seeing the project so far, but if anybody there hasn't seen it so far, you can go to the repo for the project. Well, actually, let me tell you what the project is in case you haven't been here so far. We're working on a you can either call it a reverse dungeon crawler or a dungeon defense game. You play the role of the monsters in a dungeon. And you can take a look at what the game looks like here. You play the role of these monsters in the dungeon, and you're trying to protect the treasure in the dungeon from this red hero guy who is coming just to steal all the treasure in the dungeon and basically just get out before the monsters can stop him. So the goal is for the monsters to grab all the treasure first. Yeah, we still need to figure that part out. How do the monsters win? We haven't nailed that down. We've nailed down how the hero wins, but how do the monsters win in the end? Hello to Rage Uwu 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 Uwu. Nice name. So yes, that's the type of game it is. It's called Lambda Dungeon. You can actually find it to play on fluxharmonic.itch.io/lambda-dungeon. If you're on YouTube, the links are in the chat. Otherwise, I don't really have like a bot hooked up to tell you what the links are on Twitch if you give a command. I need to set that up though in the future. But you can go to Twitch, to itch to play it. There's also the repo for the game on codeberg.org/davidwills/lambda dungeon. You can check out the code there. We're writing this in Scheme. We're writing the game in a programming language called Scheme using the Guile Scheme to WebAssembly compiler, which makes it possible to run the game in the browser, both on desktop and mobile, which is really cool. We're using HTML5 canvas for all the rendering, and all this UI that's over here on the left side is just normal HTML plus CSS plus JavaScript. So nothing too fancy there. And it's been going great. I've been really happy with how Hoot has performed in terms of being a productive language to use for programming on this project. So it's doing good. All right. So first things first, let me show you what I did this morning. I don't know if I recompiled it since then. Let me just check it out though. Let's see if it loads up. I think I already recompiled it. So in the game page here, if I refresh the page, the first thing you see is this little pop-up. It's basically a welcome page that is supposed to tell you details about the game and how to play it. Got some funky fonts going on, etc. I'm going to add some more stuff here, hopefully before the real submission deadline. I might have to do a little bit of work off stream tonight to finish that. The idea is that this screen pops up, you can click play the game, and it will show you the game. And while you're sort of looking at what to do in the game, you can click help to bring this back up again. And this should be like a reference of the scripts that you can write for the game, what clauses or predicates you can use for the logic, and then what actions they can take. So the point is that you should be able to read this little purple page here and figure out how to play the game, and then go back into the game and then set your script up and then run it as you would normally expect to do. I kind of want to fix a little bit here though. It's well, maybe I'll do that off stream. I don't want to spend too much time trying to like tweak the UI. I mean, the UI is doing pretty good, but let's not overdo it. I'm fairly happy with the CSS work on this though, because it is fairly responsive to screen changes, and I think it looks pretty nice as it is. All right. Glenn says first patch merge. Are you talking about Trev's submission? We're going to take a look at that too, for sure. So Rage says Scheme, never heard of it. Is it a new JavaScript framework? No, there is no. It's not a JavaScript framework. It is a programming language that has existed for, I don't know, how long has Scheme been around? Since the 70s, 80s. Scheme, Wikipedia. It is of the Lisp family of languages. Yeah, it was created during the 1970s, so it's older than JavaScript. It actually is one of the main inspirations of JavaScript, but it is better than JavaScript. So no, it's not JavaScript, but it's compiling to WebAssembly, which is a new standard for running application code in a browser that may have been compiled from different programming languages. All right. So with all that out of the way, let's first take a look at what Trev sent yesterday. So Trev helped me figure out how to write the Dijkstra's algorithm on stream a few streams back. And we had a little issue where the actual path that the pathfinding algorithm took was a little bit weird. It was a little circuitous. It would just go around in a very wide loop to finally get to the place where it's supposed to end up at. But we never really got time to go back and try to investigate and fix it. So Trev decided to take a little look at this last night, and he sent a PR to implement a fix. And the description of the PR basically says that, come on, is to implement the part of Dijkstra's where while Q is not empty, vertex in Q with minimum distance. So there's a step in the algorithm. So Dijkstra's algorithm, Wikipedia. Oh, it's right down there, right there. There's a step that we're missing. So we were following this sort of numbered set of steps in the algorithm description, but apparently there's a section later that has a pseudocode. So let me see if I can understand what's going on here. So for each vertex, we're going to pre-initialize the distance vector every instance of that to infinity. And then there's a previous, which is undefined. Add v to q. Yeah, I'm not getting the pseudocode. Vertex set q. Okay, so that's a vertex set. Add v to q. What does q do? While q is not empty. Oh, we're pre-populating a list of vertices. So vertex in q with minimum distance. So I think the thing that we're missing is we're not actually taking out the items that have the minimum distance first. But the thing is, like, we don't know what the minimum distance is going to be. Minimum dist u. Oh, okay. So some nodes would have already been seen. So it seems that we can skip. Doesn't seem like this is skipping any nodes. It's just going through everyone. Vertex in Q with minimum distance u. Remove u from Q. For each neighbor of v of u still in Q. What does that even mean? Vertex in Q with minimum distance u. Yeah, I'm not parsing that right now. Is this Python? Or is it more pseudocode? Let me just check on something real quick. All right, cool. Rage says, I need to look that up. It looks interesting. Yes, Scheme is very interesting. It's a great language. I like it a lot. Let's look at the actual written description again, because this is hurting my brain. Assign to every node a distance from start value. For the starting node is 0. From all the other nodes is infinity, since initially no path is known to these nodes. During execution of the algorithm, the distance of node n is the length of the shortest path discovered so far. Okay, so I think that may be the key right there. The distance of a node n is the length of the shortest path discovered so far between the starting node and n. What I'm interpreting this to mean is that you need to be looking at, let me check, where am I looking? Entity, find path. Maybe there's a step we missed. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this because, you know, we have to finish the logic of the game. A bad pathfinding algorithm is okay. So let me just put a limit on the amount of time. I would say 20 minutes maximum. So at 1:55 my time, we got to stop working on this. Keep me honest. Let me know if time's up. Rage says, is it faster than JS? When compiled to WebAssembly, it could be. I don't know. Good question. Seems it has a small community. Yes, it is not a highly popular language, but who knows? Maybe I'll be able to make it more popular. Joan, hello Joan, says the queue automatically sorts the vertices based on minimum distance. Then from the top vertex, you expand to the others, updating their relative distances. Repeat until it reach destination. Okay, let me try to parse that. The queue automatically sorts the vertices based on minimum distance. So you're saying this is a sorted queue. So we have a queue here. Is this a queue? Is that literally a queue? A queue, Q-U-E-U-E? Make it a sorted queue. That's interesting. Okay, yeah, it's right here under my cursor. The algorithm uses a min priority queue data structure for selecting the shortest paths known so far. Before more advanced priority queue structure was discovered, the original algorithm ran in what big is that big O, or is this what are we talking about here? In square time. So min priority queue. Each element in a priority queue has an associated priority. In a priority queue, elements with high priority are served before elements with low priority. So maybe they're looped over first. Is that the idea? Danos says, Scheme is an interesting JavaScript framework. My interest is piqued as well. Yes, Danos. All right, so if I can implement one of these. Let's see. I mean, implementing a priority queue in Scheme would not be very hard. Insert with priority, add an element to the queue with an associated priority, pull highest priority element, remove the element with the queue that has a highest priority and return it. Well, if it's at the front of the queue, then you just get the, pop element off, of course. In addition, peek, which returns the highest priority element but does not modify the queue, is very frequently implemented. Sure, but that's easy with a list made of const pairs. A variety of simple, usually inefficient ways to implement a priority queue. Well, I don't need to know how because I have a pretty good idea of how to do that. But the question is, like, what is the key to using the priority queue in this case? And Joan said this. Queue automatically sorts the vertices based on minimum distance. Then from the top vertex, you expand to the others, updating their relative distances. Repeat until reach destination. It picks the it picks the unvisited vertex with the lowest distance, calculates the distance through it to each unvisited neighbor, and updates the neighbor's distance if smaller. Let me just take a look at this graphic, because maybe this is going to give me a better view of what's happening. Can you start over, please? And it doesn't continue. Rage says, the scheme course you mentioned on your website, is it free? No, it's not free. That's one of the ways that I make a living. But I feel that it's worth the money because it is comprehensive. So let's see. That makes sense. I mean, for the most part. So I need to have a queue for items to look at. So I sort of had that already. If I look back in my code, the unvisited list. I think what Trev was trying to do in his PR was to look at the unvisited list and search through it. But it seems to be more efficient to try to insert the new node as a priority queue with respect to its distance. So we start off with, let's see, where is it? Unvisited. Where are we defining it? That's not a thing. Where is it? Where are we defining unvisited? Find path, right there, beginning. Okay. Define distances, that's a vector we're storing information about. Thanks for the follow, Rage. Okay. We have our get distance, get closest neighbor, get closest neighbor. So that may be some stuff that, let me check out the last part then. So it told me, this is the node n is the length of the shortest path discovered so far between the starting node and n. Set the current node to the starting node. Consider all of its unvisited neighbors, update your distances. Where did I see that detail? I guess that makes sense though, because the way that it progresses through the algorithm, you're going to prioritize calculating the neighbors of the node with the shortest distance to start with. And when you do that, it's going to calculate the distance to its neighbors first too. So you're going to end up with the distance being sort of constrained by the shortest distance from the first starting node. What OS am I using? I'm using Linux, but this is GNU Geeks, the GNU Geeks distribution. And I cover that pretty extensively on my YouTube channel called System Crafters. All right, so when we're done considering all the unvisited neighbors, did I miss anything on YouTube chat? Okay. Let's take a look then. I think we might be able to do this. Unvisited. Where am I initializing that? It's right here in this loop. Cool. All right. We set unvisited here. We start at the start position. We initialize our unvisited list. And we start with a distance of 0. So distance. Okay, so inner loop, we get the neighbors of the current position. So when pair unvisited, loop car unvisited. So right here is sort of the key. This is the point where we need to insert this neighbor into unvisited list. Sorry, list based on the distance from current node. So first we need to know the distance. We can't do that until inside of this let because we're calculating the distance. No, where's the distance? Distance plus 1. I guess that's sort of the thing though, because right now we don't have anything other than just the you know, increase in 1 of distance for every node. So is it still relevant? I guess it could be, not from the first node, but maybe later nodes. Well, let's see if we can implement it anyway. Let's see. We'll just make a little function here. Insert unvisited. Unvisited. Where is it? Position distance. So we do need to kind of change how we manage the unvisited items. We need to store the distance along with the item, which means just consting it onto the front, I think. This could be a huge mistake, but we're going to try and see if we get a better result. All right, so let's go let loop. Let's see, UV unvisited. And then we have distance. That's pretty much it. So updated. There we go. Okay, let's do that. Then inside here, we can so if distance, if oops, yeah, that's fine. If less than distance car, it's actually car of UV. Let's call it that. We'll just rebind it. It's fine. So if distance is less than the first item of the unvisited list, which is going to be the distance value, then we need to insert it at the location. So what we're going to do is say updated const, well, no, append list. So the updated list, and then a list containing, or I actually just constant onto the remaining. So cdr of unvisited. I think that's it. So we're just inserting it into the existing list. Otherwise, we const. No, we don't want to do const. We want to. Let me think about that for a moment. Usually, I like to construct these lists in reverse order and then reverse them at the end. So if I did that, what would this part of the operation look like? This is not going to be very efficient. I'll just go ahead and say that, as it tends to be the case with these kinds of operations. I mean, I could do an append. Or, wait, hold on. Maybe Maybe I can skip manipulating the list until I find a place where it gets inserted. I think that's actually better because it will get inserted at some position. So here we go. If null, unvisited, or the distance is less than the car, then we're going to append updated and const the position. We also need to const the distance onto the position. Sorry, let's do this. Const. So we're consting the damn. Not getting off to a good start here. So we're consting the distance to the position, and we're consting that on the front of the remaining items of the unvisited list. Oh, I need to make sure that since we're making this be a dual check, we don't want to call cdr. Okay, that should do it. Not the greatest. All right, so we're appending to the updated list. We're sort of inserting the new position. And then we're trying to decide what to put at the end of that. Otherwise, we continue looping. Cdr of unvisited. I guess we need to be updating the updated. I know this is a bit of a waste of time, and we're almost about to hit our 20 minutes. But I would like to have a better pathfinding algorithm. This actually is not a mutation function, after all. So we're pending the updated list that we've been building, that we will be building, because apparently we have no choice. Cdr of unvisited, and then we're gonna append updated with a const of car unvisited and the empty list. So we're sort of just rebuilding the list from front to back. Okay, that might work. I guess the best way to test that would be to say pk testing priority queue insert unvisited. Let me see if I can come up with a little test list here. So we're going to come up with a list of 1, 2, and 3, which are sublists. Then we're going to try to insert a position. Let's call it, well, 1, 3, 4. We're going to insert 2. Oh, sorry. Well, wait. We're going to insert something. It doesn't matter. 1, 5, 3, 4, whatever. 2. 2 is the distance we're inserting. And that should be enough to tell us whether this is working or not. So let's go ahead and compile this. Did I make any other changes that I need to respond to before I try to compile it? Set unvisited. Did I just moved it. I didn't move it. I just deleted it. Don't want to do that. Let's discard that hunk for now. We'll recompile, and then we'll just let it run and see what kind of output we get. Takes a little bit of time to compile, unfortunately, but that's okay. Then the idea is that we will use that to insert the unvisited, insert the neighbor into the unvisited list, and then the new item might get picked first. The new neighbor might get picked first. All right, so let's go back to the first tab here. We're gonna refresh, play the game. Oh yeah, I need to hit run first. Great, I should have run that function somewhere else, I think. And defined it somewhere else. Insert. Just so that we can see it. I'm going to put it in the main game source for now, just to make it pop up right at the beginning, so we don't have to wait at all for that to be executed. Oh, did I? Yeah, that's everything. Doesn't need anything special. Almost there. Okay. Refresh. Okay. Ooh. That's right, but we missed the last element. I should probably make this 7/8 so it's clear that I'm not doing something funky. And I dropped the 3, I think. So I need to make sure I'm not dropping that intermediate item. I think I know why too. I think that this part right here, I shouldn't do the cdr of unvisited. I should do the just the regular unvisited list. Actually, maybe I can just get rid of that entirely. Unvisited. That's that makes my heartburn go away a little bit. Okay, so append updated. Yeah, we're just inserting it before the first item of the current list. Right, so that makes sense. Cool. That's simpler now. I'm not as unsatisfied. Thano says, never set up time limits when building things. Well, sometimes I have to. Okay. There it is. That seems to work. Let's also insert one that should go up at the end of the list. I'll do that again here. So insert unvisited. And then we're going to put it to the result of the first unvisited. And the new thing will be 10, 12, I don't care, 23. I'm just typing whatever letters show up under my fingers. I'm going to put it to be a distance of 5 so that we can see it go at the end of the list. And once we see that, then we know we have a priority queue. A little bit of scheme, functional programming, magic. Not really magic, it's just, you know, algorithms. All right. Seems to work just fine. The 5 gets added at the end of the list. Should we also make sure we get 1 at the beginning too? This time I'll put 0. I know the compile cycle is not very efficient for this. If Fade was here, Fade would be yelling at me because I'm not using a REPL, but I can't, unfortunately. There's no REPL yet. One day soon, there will be a REPL. And then we won't have to do this recompilation every single change. Once I see that this works, I'll just go drop that code back into that function, and then we can use it. All right, so 0 is now at the beginning. Cool. That's good enough for me. I believe it. We have a working priority queue algorithm. So let's go back over to entity. In fact, I could probably just undo the change to this file. There we go. However, I need to make sure that let me paste what I copied so that we get the right version. It looks like the right version. Insert unvisited. So set unvisited. Insert unvisited. Previously, we were just consting the first item of the neighbors list onto unvisited, but we're not going to do that anymore. Unvisited, car neighbors, and we also need the distance value. Set distance. Distance. Where is distance calculated? We're passing it through. Okay, so set unvisited, insert unvisited, neighbors. It's going to be distance plus 1, though. That's the new neighbor distance, so distance plus 1. Maybe I should do this. New distance, distance plus 1, and I'll move this inside. And let's also drop this down one line just because it's affecting my sensibilities. New, come on now. New distance. This will also be new distance. So, how will we know that this is working? We will just have to see if the pathfinding is not so ridiculous. So we can test that actually by just running the actual game and see. We just tell a monster to go to a particular item and see what path it takes. And if it looks weird, then it's not working. If it doesn't look weird, then it's fixed. There's also the teleportation issue that we should fix. Actually, I probably need a to-do list for this stream. Let's reload first and make sure that things are working first. I want this monster to walk to the, let's say the blue key. We have more than one. Find item, key, blue, take item. Let's see if it goes straight there. Nope. Oh, yes, I have changed how I structure the unvisited list. Set unvisited. Insert unvisited. Now, when I pull something off the unvisited list, I need to make sure to take it apart. It's actually interesting. I don't need to pass this distance value anymore because now the distance is attached to the unvisited item. Car neighbors, position, distance, unvisited. So when we call loop again, yeah, so carve unvisited. And it's not going to be distance plus 1 anymore. We're actually going to just use the distance value that's stored. So car unvisited, and it's going to be kadar unvisited. And that should work. So long as I didn't mess up the parentheses. If you're joining the YouTube or Twitch chat, don't forget to say hello. All right. Yes, let's see if pathfinding is going to work. I'll send little green guy here over to the blue key again. Find item, key, blue, take item. Seems to be going, uh-oh. That wandering? I don't know. Maybe it started wandering. Interesting. Let's try that again. I'm not sure what I just saw because the hero just went and snarfed up the item. I mean, I could tell this one to grab the yellow key. I don't know if it's going to tell us much though. Find item, key, yellow, take item. All right, that was too easy. Let's get a new one. The red gem. Okay, so I'll click run. That worked. We need a more strange path. Let's see if I can find a better one. That's not very good either. Blue gem. Maybe that's gonna work. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Now the hero's chasing him out of there. You know, I think it actually did help. Surprisingly enough, it seems to have made the path a little bit less ridiculous. Why did I just close that? So I'm happy with that. I think we can call that more or less fixed. So thank you both to Trev and to Joan in the Twitch chat for the pointers on that, because it did actually help. Let me see here. Can I just check it and make sure everything else is good? Okay. Ostensibly fixed pathfinding algorithm. That's the right name, right? Gotcha. Boom. Now that we got that fixed, let's move on to the next thing. We could look into the hero teleportation issues, but let's take a break and try to think about what our remaining tasks are. Do I have a task list in here? Let's see. Finishing the game. Finishing the game. Yes, that's not right. Let's come up with a task list. Let's see. Fix hero teleportation. Not the highest priority. Make it possible. Oh, let's see. Implement. Walk to exit. For hero. Implement hero win condition. Implement monster win condition. So, question is, how do the monsters win the game? The idea is that monsters are supposed to keep the hero from stealing all the treasure, but if he's still around, he can beat them up. Oh, that's another thing I need to fix. Implement hero finding items held by monsters, which should not be very hard. Implement hero monster battle. I think that we're going to have to do a battle against the hero. As we were saying in an earlier stream, we're going to have to hug him to death. All right. Time limit into the until the dungeon collapses or something, Thanos says. We don't want the dungeon to collapse. Maybe they... Okay. So at the very end, they just go attack the hero. So we also need to implement an attack command. So, yep, I think that's it. And they could also just kill the hero. If you have, enough monsters, you could potentially just go kill the hero. But the hero could also kill the monsters. So you would have to throw as many bodies as possible at the hero. So if the hero has, like, say, 3 to 5 health, and the monsters have 1 or 2 health, then I think the way that I would do this is if they're on a tile next to each other, then each time they're on an adjacent tile, it's going to take 1 health away from both of them. Just assuming they are fighting each other. Well, we'll just say they're fighting each other, and that's how it will work. So that's sufficient enough for now, I think, as a way to think about the remaining action. So how much time do we have? We have about 2.5 hours, let's say. First, we need to make it possible for the hero to win, so we need to implement walk to exit. So let's go do that. In entity, we need an action, which is now going to be called walk to exit, which requires no parameters. Consider path action, walk to exit, entity, level. We also need to find the exit location. Level, exit, position, level. Should probably break those lines down a little bit. Let's actually do that, just so that I don't go crazy. All right, so for level.scm, level, right there. Level monster spawns, level exit position. So what we need to do is, let's see, exits. Yeah, okay, I'm actually taking note of exits. I guess find exit could be a way to do that, but whatever. Let's do this. Level exit position. We're just going to pull the first one off because right now we don't have any concept of anything other than just the single exit. So car level exits. Level exits. Make level. Exits. Make level. Exits will be a list. Fonts, index position, index position. Oh, okay, cool. So it is a point. So that should be enough. What we will do is back down here, car level exits level. That's it. That's enough for now. Now we've exported it already. Let's go back into entity and then the interpret actions, level exit position level. Okay, that should work. So now we should be able to see the hero reach the exit. And then once we have that, we can implement the logic to say that they won. Maybe I can have another little pop-up that shows up to say that the hero won. Okay, that works. I think we can get this implemented pretty fast, actually. So that's going to be nice. All right, so I'll restart the game, play the game. Let's just let the hero win. Okay, so he's got a blue key. He needs the red gem. Looks like he's going to go for one of the other gems right now. I guess he's going to go for all the keys. I need to set that so he doesn't look for keys unless he needs them. Because there's no point to grab all the keys, just the gems. So that's a gem. He's going for that other key, I think. The pathfinding seems to be much better now. And then there goes the teleportation. That's not supposed to happen. He unlocked the door and walked in. Took the gem. And this is the point where he should be walking towards the exit, but it seems that there must have been an error. Give me the console. Where's the console? Right there. Type check. Item X on false. Y. I wonder if find nearest item. Whoops. Find nearest. Let item. Ah, is that what it is? Right there. Nearest item and item. Item type item. There we go. And item, then const. That way we can make sure we're not returning something we shouldn't. I think that was the only issue there. Was there one other thing? Oh yeah, I want to make sure that he doesn't try to go after keys. So find nearest item. Find nearest item. Level entity. Oh, right. There's more code to it. Distance. Let's see. Cooter items. Let distance. And nearest. So if item type, if EQV gem car of item type item, because what we're trying to do here is we only want any of them to try to find the nearest gem, let's say. So if equivalent gem car item type, no. Okay, that's fine. If it's a gem, then we want to calculate the distance and do all the fancy stuff. If it's not a gem, we want to just return the current nearest value. So this should keep. Let me make sure I got the parentheses lined up correctly. Loop nearest. I just need to add another close paren. Okay. That should keep the hero from trying to go after anything else. So we should just go straight after all of the. Hello. Check parens. Interpret clause. What? 473 unexpected end of input. What else have I changed? Is it here? Yes, that was the one. Okay. I think that's going to do the work. Thanks to Jake Oxide for following on Twitch. If people are subscribing on YouTube, I can't tell, but I think that YouTube is not quite as friendly to people just, randomly finding you as Twitch is. So I imagine I'm probably not getting many new subscribers on YouTube at the moment. Entity line 281. We don't have something called item. Oh. It should be. Also, thank you to Artilugio and Panin. Man, I can't. Pain in. I can't read your name. I'm sure it's Pain in the beginning. I'm guessing it is. So anyway, thanks to the new people who are following on Twitch. A lot of new Twitch followers this week. Maybe people like game jams after all. So. Hello. Pain in the ass. Now I can read the name. It makes more sense. So let me check on this item that it was complaining about. So I think it needs to be a car of items. Yes, car of items. Great. I think we're about to see some major improvements happening here. Okay, let's give it a shot. Gonna run the game. Let the hero do his thing. He's not seemingly motivated to go toward the keys, except for maybe the blue key. A what? No way, dude. Hello, Birdie. What's so funny about the name? So that's kind of funny that the guy like just walked through the door. Did I break the logic of the algorithm somehow? Because there's no way that he was able to walk through there. Set new position, nearest item. That's interesting that it did that. Hello to Christian over on the YouTube side. All right, let's get rid of some of this junk in the output because I need to focus more on what is happening. So nearest item, I really don't need that information anymore. Ifin says he's a superhero. Yeah, maybe he shouldn't be though. He needs to be able to follow the same rules as the rest of the monsters in the game. All right, so we got that. Set new position. Irritants, car of an empty list. I wonder which list that would be. Could it be the exits list? Did I not properly identify the exits? Pain in the ass says, is the Lisp field only for debugging testing, or are you supposed to play the game writing Lisp? Yes, you play the game by writing a script. The reason why I'm doing this is just because this tool that I'm using for building the game is, you know, it doesn't have its own evaluator for scheme code yet, so I'm writing my own little evaluator just for fun, to make a little editor in the game, to, you know, try out some ideas. But I didn't get to spend much time on the editor. I had to spend more time on making the game work because the idea was a little bit ambitious and we got bogged down into some design issues over the last couple days. I like that this guy's name is Hug'em. We have randomly generated names for the monsters. This is Hug'em. All right, or Huge'em. Whichever you prefer. Let me go check why he was able to walk through the door. Find nearest item. So that would give an item position. And then the hero script, default hero script, looks for whether the path is blocked. Well, why didn't it report that the path was blocked? Back in the code of find path, we eventually check if the path is, something is locked. Tile ID, tile level at, lock color is tile is locked door. So when lock color, no. We're going to PK that. Door in path is locked. And then we're going to say closest. Well, let's do this. There we go. Cool. That should give me some more details about what's going on. I need to go undo some of the temporary changes that I made yesterday as well, where I hard-coded the location of a key and an item. So some of this stuff needs to be fixed up. Oh, another thing I need to add to the logic. So where's the notes file? Remove hard coding of positions. Generate locked doors based on key selection. So we need to have locked doors being placed in the world in a real way. Click run. And where is he headed? Okay, he's going for the gems. Then the magical teleportation just happened. Okay. If he grabs a key, it's going to be totally by accident. I don't see anything saying there's a locked door in the path. What did I break? All right, let's get the existing action out of there. Take item, take item. At the very end, I wonder if that's the exit logic. For some reason, if the exits list is nothing. So let me go back to level. PK finding exit. Well, let's just say level exits level. Back in entity, level exits, exit pos. Okay, that's the level object. So that should be fine. Let me double check something real quick. Make sure that the music's not going to go run off to do some copyrighted music again. Okay, so we'll deal with that later. Existing action. Where am I writing that out? Existing action. Let me just put existing action here. I want to make sure that that's not going to spew everything out. Take item. Payne says, I'm intrigued. I want to give it a try. Are you planning to self-publish it? It's already on itch. If you go to fluxharmonic.itch.io, you'll see that Lambda Dungeon is the first item in the list. If you go click on that, it's playable in the browser. So long as you have a new enough version of Chrome 119 plus or Firefox 121 plus, you can play it in the browser on itch. Same thing that you're seeing right now, just a little bit behind the current changes. So anytime I make a commit to the game, a new build gets kicked out to itch, and it will be playable live. So as soon as I get the issues fixed here with the hero logic, I'll push again. Yeah, no problem. Take item, existing action. That should take out a lot of the spam, and also it should fix the, or at least give us some data on the issue of the error whenever the hero has picked up all the items. I also want to go try to fix all the to-dos I have for the hard coding of item positions. This is temporary. Yeah, let's get rid of that. Generate items. Make item. Okay, there we go. Well, thanks, Payne. Appreciate the sub. That's very nice of you. Was it 2? Wow, 2 subs. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Haven't had much like actual Twitch style interaction on the platform because normally I'm primarily streaming on YouTube and I don't do much game jam stuff on Twitch. So I think that game jams are probably a little bit more what Twitch expects to see compared to YouTube. My YouTube viewers are very acclimated towards Emacs or Linux videos, so the game jam aspect probably isn't as interesting, but there are 16 of you watching right now on YouTube, so hopefully you're having fun. All right, so generate monsters. Yeah, I want to get rid of the 1 here, so let's make sure we can have some more monsters back in the game. I'll comment out the 1 for now just to make it so we can get back to it if we needed to hard code again. Refresh the game, play again, click run. Now let's see what the hero does. Eventually he will try to walk directly through that door. Oh, actually I probably need that item still there though, so we can test all this. Oh, door and path is blocked. Okay, so he saw it, that it's blocked, but he still walks there anyway. That's strange. And the error we expect, finding exit. The exit list is empty. Did I get the wrong tile for the exits? Let's run tileed again and take a look at the tile map. Thano says, we're probably more on IRC. And Ethan says, IRC with MPV. Yes, I know there's probably some hidden viewers who are just chilling in the in the IRC, which is totally fine. That is tile number 298. Is that the right one? Also, my wife gave me some, useful feedback that is hard to tell this is a staircase. So let me actually just change that now to a staircase that is more plainly visible. I need to make sure I have the right layer selected. There we go. That looks like an exit. At least it looks like stairs that might lead out of there. It would be nice if it was facing a different direction, but whatever. I suppose even a ladder could do. Stairs looks more obvious. Okay, so there's stairs, and let's re-export this. All right. And we just exported that to a scheme file, which is cool because we're loading it straight up in the game. So 296 is now the tile for exits. We go into level.scm, exit tile ID 298. That could have been the reason. Like I had the wrong. No, that was right. 298. 296. Let's double check the code that checks for exit tile ID. If car tile data, hero spawn tile ID, exit tile ID, exits. And I never actually passed it through, so that does make sense. Monster spawns, hero spawns, exits, make level. There we go. That explains everything. So this empty list now needs to be exits. Oh, list. No. It's already a list. It doesn't need to be a vector. Why did I make it a vector to begin with? Oh, to randomly select. Okay. Okay. That's good. All right. So that will solve one problem. What was the other problem? Okay, let's go back to entity and find path. We saw that blocked clock. Door and path is locked. Hello to Barack. Thank you for the Geeks videos. Well, thank you for watching them. Birdie says, I think the open doors are blocking and the blocking doors are open. It triggered the print when he tried to walk through the open door. Well, it's triggering thanks to the pathfinding. So at the moment that it tries to find the path to the desired item, it will tell you if the path is locked. I know what you mean, but I think that it's misleading what's happening. When this thing gets printed out here, what's supposed to happen, if there's a lock color and the entity doesn't have the item, so entity has item, the hero definitely does not have the blue key. I mean, the hero has nothing in his inventory, or at least whatever he's picked up before then, he has it in his inventory. So, what is it? Door and path, in path. In path. So at this point, we should, if there's a lock color on the door that's blocking the path, and the entity doesn't have the item, then it sets that the key is needed. Otherwise, we'll continue looking for the path. So he should never have received a path to begin with. So that actually gives me a bit of a clue that something here is not returning the right value. I mean, obviously locked color is true, but entity has item. Entity has item. Let me check that procedure. So EK, check for item. I'll actually just wrap this whole thing so that we can see it. Let's go. This is what happens whenever you get too confident that things are going to be easy. Then you realize things are not so easy because they're not working the way that you expected them to. Also, this time, I've taken out the hard coding of that gem location, so we're going to have to wait and see if something else will show up there for the key unlocking. All right, this is going to be interesting. All right, so the hero is... All right, there we go. Finding exit. Oh, why is it not actually walking to the exit then? Finding exit, finding exit. That doesn't look right. Where was that? Level exit position. I'm taking the car of it. Oh, level exits. Okay, yeah. And I return that. Level exit position. Level exit position. Exit position. Walk to exit. Entity level. Level exit position. Consider path action. It should have actually started walking to the exit, and it keeps doing the same thing over and over again. It keeps 6 1 1 2 3 4 5 6 1. Yeah, that's correct. That's the right position, but why doesn't it actually start walking? Consider path action. Walk to exit, level exit position. Walk. No, sorry. Consider path action. When we do that, well, let's see. Oops, that is a bad form now. So let me. Oops, come on. Let me comment this out. Hey Alejandro, what are we fixing now? The logic for the hero to walk to the exit. For some reason, he's just kind of standing there. He knows where the exit is. He knows he's supposed to be walking there, but the actual action of walking is not being initiated. So we're trying to diagnose that. Oh, what do you think about this this intro page? It has not been fully written yet. It will give you the instructions for the game. You click play the game, then you can also click help to bring it back up to see the help for the script editor. So that would be the place where I will try to write some of the information needed. All right, run. We picked up a gem. I think the pathfinding is resolved now. It's much better. All right, so now still finding exit, but not moving. Why not? Hero, you could have won the game. What's your problem? Make path action, action type, entity level, car item position, footer item position. Add the final title of the path. No, it's been working up until now. Finding exit. 6 1. Okay, let's just see. What would it actually write out in this case? So we have the entity. Find path. Okay, so if there's a path, PK. Oh, let's do this first. If, when, QV, entity type, entity, hero, PK, found path, path. You just want to see what that is to see if it actually returns something. I mean, maybe if they're right next to the thing, but it even across the map, it has not tried to go there. So something else is going on. Yep, he's going up. Hey, Ashras. Okay. Try it again. Play the game. Run it. Okay, we found a path. Now it seems to be walking. Oh, going to the gem. The GEM, not the GYM. And he just like walks straight to the door. What is the deal with that? Door in path is blocked. Check for item. Key blue. He doesn't have it. Found path? How is it possible? And then the path to the exit is not found. No, dude, come on. Something is super wrong here. X, Y. We got to check on that. Level exit position level. That's a const pair. It should be level X and Y. And we already know it's 6-1. So we got two problems. One is that the hero just walks straight to the door, even though it doesn't have the key in its inventory. And we verified that. Because we see door and path is blocked. It needs a blue key. We're checking for the item for the hero. If it has a blue key, it says false. False. Check for item. Check for item. Has item. So this returns... Oh, hold on. Yeah. If this returns false, this should be true. And then we should set the needed key. So maybe I should do that. PK, set needed key. Lock color. Is it because I'm clearing that value every frame? I think that needed to be cleared. Yeah, okay, that was probably the issue. Some old holdover logic from yesterday. Ashra says, currently finishing my SSD data transfer. My SSD sporadically failed last Sunday. Woof, that scares me. Managed to get it running again temporarily. Clonezilla is a godsend. I need to be doing better backups. I've been using a couple of these laptops for a few years now, and I'm worried that one day the SSD is just going to go up in smoke, and I'm going to be losing some data. So, yeah, I feel you on that. Where are you headed? You're just going to straight up walk through the door again. What the hell? Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Now that was interesting. Set needed key. Okay, something's backwards somewhere. Damn. I was hoping we'd be making better progress in this. So now it knows it needs to go toward the key. It found the key. So why isn't it actually trying to go to the exit? All right, there's some busted logic somewhere. This is annoying. And the monsters are just wandering around, wandering, doing nothing. Let's try it again, just to kind of keep an eye on what's going on. Good, there's an item back there, so we need to take a look at what to do for that. Hero's headed toward probably the yellow gem. Now going to be headed towards the red gem, straight through the door. Set needed key blue. Found path. How are you getting a found path, though? That doesn't make sense. Wait. Yeah. 2, 3. Find path. Set needed key. So and then this not, if there's a lock color, which is true, and the entity has the item, which is that, and we return T at the end, which should make this whole thing false. Sorry, we'll make the whole thing true, which would make this whole not false, which should shortcut the, hold on a second. I think I messed up a parenthesis there. That's super bad, if that's the case. I think that's what happened. Yep, that's exactly what happened. So this, if closest, and if closest. Phew! All right. I think that's the key to this issue. Payne says an option to restart the level will be a nice feature. Yeah, I want to add that too. So let me add that to the to-do list because that is certainly needed. Refreshing every time is not cool, especially on mobile because you can't actually refresh very easily. Hey, Gene. I'm glad you were able to submit your entry. I'm looking forward to playing yours because it looks really nice. Welcome to I am Stevo, who just followed on Twitch a few minutes back. All right, YouTube folks, you gotta start like bringing more people to the stream. Twitch is starting to overtake you now, as usual. When is Jam deadline? It's tomorrow morning, so basically whatever I can get done today is the last time I have. What did I do wrong here? 238. Is it one too many? Parentheses? Man, that's one thing that can really bite you with Lisps is if you manage to get your parentheses ordering wrong and you're doing these nested Boolean expressions like I'm doing, you can easily get into a state where you accidentally break your logic just because you remove some stuff. Or you move some expressions around. Terrible. Ethan says, it's all about the parentheses. Yes. Oh, okay. I see now Alejandro was saying, final tile of the paths are fixed now. He seems to walk straight. Yes. Through some input from Trev and from another person in the Twitch chat, we got that fixed a little bit earlier. Okay, let's replay. What? 10, 5, 10, 5. It must be this position, but there's no path. How is that possible? Okay, something's broken. I broke something else. Great. Wonderful. So, and if this returns true, which means that the door is not blocked, this whole expression means if this expression returns true, there is no locked door in the way. Let's just say that so that we're not questioning what this does. If it returns true, then we loop. Is that right? Yeah, because we want this to not loop further. We want it to return false if there's no path. So this and will short circuit if this returns false. And this will only return false in the case it returns false if a key is needed. Whoa. All right, so now we know what this logic is doing. We call the loop only if there's no lock in the way. Then we loop get closest neighbor, car, cooter closest, const closest path. Thanks, Payne. Gene says paredit fixes that a lot. Yeah, I'm not using paredit right now. I need to be trying it again. Every time I try it, I feel like it doesn't really work well for me, but I got to get over that. So the loop should work. Let me just reload this again and see. Whoa, that was weird. Let me just reload it again and see, because I'm very confused as to why we're getting a completely empty list now. It should be giving us something. Get closest neighbor, const closest path. Is it just that it's completely bailing out? Like it never loops correctly anymore? And let. And that let as tile ID lock color. Okay, so that's all self-contained. All right, let's just say PK looping. What? Oh. If closest. If pair path. Drop the first item as a start position. If closest. Okay. All right, unexpected end of input. Yeah, I think we have some more paren unbalancing stuff. That's the thing about using this PK macro. I feel like sometimes when I use it, I forget to close out the parentheses correctly, and we just end up wrong in the end. Because now we're done PK looping. Now this finishes the and, which is correct. Then we have the if. And it seems we're missing a closing paren here. I think that this may have been wrong for a while. Whoops, what did I just do there? Let's give it a shot and see. And then as soon as I get this figured out, I'm checking it in so we don't lose where we were. Just waiting for the compile cycle at this point. There we go. Play the game, run it. All right, he's moving again, which means I fixed the broken path finding. So there definitely was another issue with the, oh, did we get the key that time? Oh, now we're just sitting still. Found path. Come on, dude. Okay, so you're looking for the exit. And you're still getting an empty path. How is that possible? There's a freaking path. It's right there. You know what? I know what it is. I know what it is. The tile is not considered to be walkable. So walkable, yes. I need to add the exit tile to the walkable list. I think that's got to be it. So if I go to tile sheet, walkable, floor, open door, exit tile. Exit tile is now 296. Let's try that. That should put us to where we can actually make a, what do you call it? Path to the exit. Thank you very much to Above Amra, who subscribed with a Prime membership. That's awesome. I don't know if we've received so many subs in one stream before, so that's really cool. I'm very happy about that. Still waiting for the compilation to finish. All right, let's play the game. This time, so let's take a look. Oh, okay, so we got a little problem here. Got a little problem here. The hero needs to get the red gem. Astra says maybe because it's Sunday and many people are now able to tune in. You know, like we've been having record viewership on Twitch the last few days due to the jam. I think people on Twitch just like game jams better than they like me talking about Emacs or geeks, and that's fine. Hey, RetroPixel. Looking good, thanks. We're having some bugs here. The one right now, well, this is not a bug. This is actually a problem for the hero to figure out. The blue key is locked behind this door. I don't think there's going to be a way for me to avoid this, so there may be unplayable games at times. Let's just refresh. Oh, and I also wanted to add to the notes list, the task list. We need to add a restart button for the game. So there's a few things we still need to do before we can really be finished. Yes, I know the blue key is behind the blue door. I can't really do anything about that right now. It would require more sophisticated logic. So what I wanted is to see if the hero can finally go to the exit. So if I play this one, he'll grab the yellow gem, unless somebody else manages to grab it first. So grab the yellow gem and then start heading toward the exit. There we go. Finally, we're heading toward the exit. And then that would be the point where we would say the hero won. Boom. And that's done. So, cool. The first time that the hero would actually have been able to win the game, we just need to implement the win state. So we can, let's see, implement walk to exit. We did that. Control CTD. What's next? Implement hero win condition. We'll have to do that. That's lower priority at the moment. I would actually prefer to implement these things. Attacking and battle between the monster and the hero. Okay, I got to the exit. What's next? Yes, that's what the hero's thinking. Well, I'm just going to sit here and hang out. Thanks, Ashraz. I guess that means you're leaving. No more left pad. All right. So, hero finding items held by monsters. Oh, I hope you had a fantastic game jam. It's been great. Yes, I've had a good time. I'm ready to take a little break from streaming, though. This is the most days in a row of streaming I've ever done. It's gone pretty well, but it's also pretty exhausting. I don't know how the people who stream every day for like 7 hours, 8 hours a day, I don't know how they do it. I guess they're just eating sandwiches the whole time and watching YouTube videos, so it's not like it requires much brain power. Okay, implement attack command, hero finding items held by monsters. That could be pretty easy in theory. So the idea is that if a monster picks up an item, then they end up having to visit a cardiologist. Oh, yes, that actually is true. I think Tim the Tat Man, a pretty famous streamer, is having some health problems right now due to the number of hours streamed. Lots of neurological issues. It's not healthy. Yeah, we need to add a you lose message, but I want to get some of the other stuff implemented first. So the hero is trying to grab all the items that are on the map, but he needs to get all of them. So if a monster picks up an item, the hero needs to go track down the monster and beat him up to get the item, and then can leave. So there's a couple things we need to implement the win condition, actually. where is it? Win condition. So the hero must have all items, even those picked up by monsters. And then, excuse me, hero must reach exit alive. And just for those of you who haven't been paying attention so far, the hero is the bad guy. It's not the good guy. You're playing the role of the monsters. I'm not showing you right now because we're trying to work on the hero logic, but we're supposed to be editing these scripts, which are the logic for the individual monsters. You can see like we have a list of them here, like old Nibop, who still just has the normal wander script, which is the default. Ashra says, sitting for hours is bad for your health, which is one of the reasons why I'm on the road so often. Yeah, I gotta start getting up. I'm starting to wither a little bit here. Just in general. Less and less exercise as time goes on. That's gonna change. Now we're gonna start doing some exercise streams. Just kidding. You're not gonna see that out of me. Only sitting in front of the computer. That's what you'll see on this channel. So, we need to implement the finding items held by monsters. We're going to move the restart button issue up here toward the top. Get yourself a standing desk. I actually have one. I just don't use it in standing mode. Alejandro says, I think the restart button is a less time-consuming task. It is. It sort of is. There's some implementation details I need to make sure work first. I need to like destroy some of the HTML elements and recreate them to make sure that all the events are wired up correctly because of the way I've written the code. So that needs a little bit of work. So I really would prefer to get the game logic done first before I get back to the polish. All right, so in entity, find item. Find nearest item. Ashra says, this time on System Crafters, crafting yourself. We will install a gem module in our Geeksy home this time. Yeah, that would be pretty funny, actually. Okay, how do you manage your home gym with geeks? That would be a hell of a stream. I don't even know how you do that. Of course, most of the time when I try to answer the question, how do you do X in geeks? The stream's a failure anyway, so what difference would it make? All right. So find nearest item. Hey, Dave. Have to leave in 5-10 minutes. Just want to say go, go, go. Yes, I'm trying to get it done. We got a lot of issues to work through, but you know, we got another maybe hour and a half. So hopefully it'll work out. But thanks, man. Good luck to you too. I know you are pretty far along now, and I'm hoping it gets done so that you have a really nice blog post to get out of this. It's going to happen anyway, obviously, but you know, it'd be good. So we're looking for the nearest item. So let me think about this for a minute. We first want to look for things that are on the ground. Then we want to look for things that are held by entities. Yes, there will be posts, of course. MetaX lift iron. Yes, we're going to have to write an Emacs module for managing our workout sessions as well, which I think there are probably already a few of those. I've never used them because I'm not doing, you know, lifting heavy objects, but I'm quite sure these things exist. Or maybe just, you know, org mode templates. Items, level items. I think we need to synthesize a list of additional items based on the find entity, kill entity, rob entity loop. Yes. Based on not only the items that are currently present in the level, but the items that are present in entities that have them in their inventory. So, map, Lambda, entity, we need to make this. We have like a fold or reduce in Hoot. I don't think that we actually have that, do we? No. Fold? No. I'll have to write my own then. Inline fold operation. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of entries. Good luck to everyone going through all of them and then rating them. We might check out some entries on the stream next Friday. We'll see. Find entity items. Or find monster items. Let's say monster items. Level. Let loop. Monsters. Level entities. E. Does Hoot have a filter? Let's just go entities. Reminder to everyone that only submitters can rate other entries. That's actually a good idea. Ts. Remove nil map car. That's Emacs Lisp. That would work, but not in Scheme and not right now. Let loop entities when. All right, let's say if. If equal entity type. Entity is a monster. Then, let's see. We also need to have the items list here. Yet another issue. Find monster items. It's like another subfold. Crap. So it's fold proc initial scheme fold folked. Yes, exactly. R7 RS. Where's the PDF? Oof, it's killing me. There we go. Fold. Man, I can't type at all. Is fold not in here? Reduce. Oh, maybe are there Surfies? Surfy 1? I think there's Surfy 1 in Hoot. No. Surfy 9? Surfy 1? Surfy 1 isn't in Hoot? Damn. Alright, I'm just looking for the signature of fold. List library. Come on, fold. So it's the procedure. Come on with the damn language here. Fold over one list is easy to do. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to just write my own real quick because I have to use it twice, and I was making like a specialized version, but okay. So okay, the list value. Gotcha. It doesn't work like that, Alejandro. You can't ignore with a map because you're just going to return a false. So proc initial and then list. So then let loop items list if null list result initial there's no filter, so I can't get them out of the list. Sure, I could okay, so what you're saying is I'm trying to return just a clean list. I suppose one could just skip over falses, but that doesn't feel like Scheme style to me. So if null list, Yeah, I guess I could do that, but I'm almost like done now. So if null list, return result, and otherwise we're gonna call loop. We're going to cdr the items, and we're going to call proc. And what is the? It's like recursive. So we give it the initial value and then the result of. Plus 0 list const or consting. It has to be on the right side. So const, the value has to be on the right side. Yes. Okay, that's right. So the result gets passed as the second parameter. Car items and result. Does Guile have filter map? I don't think it has it in Hoot though. There's no filter. It's being used in the Hoot code, but not in the, it's not in the library, looks like. I think that's a fold. So here we can say fold Lambda item accumulator, and we will say if, yes, it would be nice to have that, but fold is also, I guess it's maybe simpler to use filter map if that's all you need to do is just to grab the items that return a value. All right, so we're looking at items. Thanks, man, appreciate it, Dave. Fold Lambda item accumulator. If we're looking for if it's a gem, well, we need keys too. So hold on. Find item also needs to do the same thing. So, okay, cool. Find nearest item. We need monsters with items. We do have that. If they pick them up. Thanks, Grigori. Appreciate it. We're getting there. We're getting there. All right, I better stop talking and get the hack in here. Find nearest item. I was trying to get it into right here. Pinned level items level. Let me just write this. Fold Lambda entity items for each entity. I need to find nearest item. Yeah, we'll just put it to be looking for gems. Okay, we're only looking for gems. And can I make a little helper method? Define item kind is item kind, because I don't want to have to keep doing this over and over again. If, well, actually, we'll say EQV car item type item. See, definitely want a little helper for this. If car is equal to kind, okay, that tells us what the item kind is. Is item kind. I don't really care that this is not in order. All right, so now is item kind car items. No, wait. That's the result. Man, I'm starting to lose it here. Hello to Just Chill, who followed on Twitch. So we're trying to get the list of items held by enemies. Okay, so we're folding over the list of entities. So level entities level. That's right, isn't it? So level entities. That's it. Okay. If, yeah, we should probably need to set that for entity as well. So can I make a procedure for that? Let's comment that procedure out first. All right. That's good. Is entity type. If is entity type. Then we need to do a nested fold almost, but let's just return items, level entities. Oh, we also need the initial result list, which is going to be an empty list. All right, so that should be a function. It's starting to get a little bit hairy. So let's do that. We're going to rewrite this function we were writing before. Find monster items. Man, how am I think my keyboard is ghosting. I promise I'm not like typing it that poorly. Find monster items. So level item kind. That's what we want. All right, so now we're just gonna drop this back down. We're gonna fold over the level entities. Start with an empty list. If the entity type is monster, then we're going to fold again over item. Actually, we don't need a fold. We can map and just do a little bit of, or even a for each, let's say. For each. Just use a closure to do that job instead of having to do that again. So if entity type entity, entity items, entity, there we go, boom. And inside here, we can say when is item kind. Car item, item kind. Yes. When is item kind. Then we're going to add that to the list. We're going to use set to be completely disgusting. Items, const, item, items. No, actually, in the end, I think that it does need to be another fold. Because we need to return that value directly. I know, I keep going back and forth. What can I do? Items, and I know I'm shadowing the name, but I don't really care about that. All right, so we're folding over into the items entity, item, items. It also needs to be an empty list to start with. And we need to append. Do you need filter? Yeah, we don't have filter. I'm just using fold as a kind of filter. I mean, I'm kind of, well, it is a filter right now. Filter is really just a predicate plus a const on a fold. I mean, I guess I could just make that, can't I? Filter, predicate, items. That would just be a fold, lambda, item, items. And then an empty list, and then items. And then in this, if predicate car items, then you const It's going to make this in reverse, though, which is not what you want. So I'll probably just append. Append is terrible, though. I guess I could reverse the fold. Is this what fold right is for? Reverse. Is there a reverse in Hoot? Who knows? Feel free to yell at me. Oshro says, time to death of old SSD, 5 minutes after cloning it to a fresh one. That sounds scary. Yeah, the monster is possibly moving, Alejandro says, which is good. Because that is, it makes it more challenging for the hero if the monster is constantly moving around. It has to go chase it down, which is cool. But then that means you have to keep updating the path anyway. Okay, we just got to get it done. All right, so if predicate car items append items. No, I'm already doing that. Let's const it. Const item items. You're following the gem that is contained in the monster in that case. That's filter. And in this case, since we're doing a fold, we could actually just do a filter lambda item is item kind, item kind, and filter on entity items. So now we need to combine all the lists together. We start with an empty list. We can just append the result of this. To items. All right, so that should be find monster items. That will create a list of all the monster items. As Alejandro says, how do you look at the gems? In the monster's pockets, or do you look at the monster who has gems? I'm locating the... So find monster items is a procedure that should return all of the items that are held by monsters. Then we have a list of items in their positions. Oh, that's actually a really good point. Because the position of the item is now... Okay, I think I see what you're implying. That is interesting. Car items. So it's almost like we need to get the positions of items and not the item itself. Because find nearest item in the end returns a const pair containing the... Where is it? Could or nearest. And the nearest is just a const pair of the X and Y position. So if equivalent gem, you need to add to the list of items the monsters themselves, the ones who have items. That's what I'm doing. That's where I'm headed. That's why we spent all this time writing this find monster items, is because we're going to append to the list of items for the level the list of items held by monsters, but they still need to be updated. And that is a bit of a problem at the moment. Okay. Breaking my brain. Trying to do this in a hurry never works. It is needed though. I mean, like, for the game to be playable in the way that it's meant to be played, this is needed. So we have to figure it out. We basically have to change this algorithm to not operate on items, but on positions. And the positions get calculated based on either the list of items. So here I would say map lambda item. We're going to return a const of item x item. an item y item. And then that will give us the list of positions of items. And we could also const the item onto that as well. We could turn that into... Yeah, we could const the item on be the first thing. Complicates things a little bit, but that's okay. All right, so there's that. And then we have the find monster items. Lambda entity items. We kind of want to put the item on that list as well. So filter lambda item is item kind, item kind. That's just going to filter down the list of items of the entity. And it could be an empty list. We're appending... Actually, maybe we should do it this way. We should append items first. Because it could be an empty list. I don't know if append works like that in Scheme. Item or monster. So if entity type items... Hey, Peter. Is the race still going on? Or it hasn't started yet? We have 1 hour. We're not making it to the end, but we're at least going to try to get something done. Hello to Pewterfile on Twitch. Add them all to the list when you car it, check if it's an... Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's... I suppose you could do that. I don't know, man. I'm trying to do... Oh, you finished. Wow, that was fast. Pewterfile says, I haven't seen anyone build a game in Lisp before. Well, today is your lucky day. Congrats, Peter. That's awesome. 2 hours and 70 minutes for 20K. I don't know exactly how difficult that is. I'm imagining it is pretty difficult, but that's awesome that you finished. And you also completed the game jam this week, so that's awesome too. Better. Once you take all the gems, kill all the monsters so you can rob them all. That's basically what's going to happen. It's basically what's going to happen. What kind of game is it? It is a what I'm calling a reverse dungeon crawler, where you're playing the role of the monsters. So find monster items. All right, so we're folding. We need to keep the entity that the items are attached to. So, or the position of the entity. So here's what we'll do. We're going to map over the list of items we get back. Lambda item. We're going to const the item and then the entity X entity and the entity Y entity. My brain had to wait just a second to boot up again so that I can actually think this through. So I think that's what we need. All right, so now find monster items will return a list where each entry of the list will be a sort of a list. It'll be a const of the item plus the position of the item after it. A const of the position of the item after it. So now in this case, when we loop through the lists, we don't need to, maybe I should filter those already. We're gonna filter the level items. Yeah, it's like sort of like an A list. Sort of like an A list. I mean, it's a little bit different because it's like an A list if each pair has an extra piece of information tacked onto the front of the const. Okay, so we can filter this. Filter Lambda. This is getting nuts, dude. Like, it's too much. Item, what is it? Item kind is item kind. I'm trying to save myself from doing the same logic again later. It's so dense. So if gem, we're not even gonna look at it if it's not a gem. Uh-huh. Now let's make sure this is correct. Do you dream with parens? I'm only having nightmares right now. If null items, cooter nearest, okay. And what is nearest in this case? Yeah, there's one extra step that we have to do. We have to make sure we're deconstructing the information correctly. So here it's not item X, item Y anymore. It is CDAR items and CDDAR items. Why is that the case? It's because of the way we've structured the const pairs now. Now we don't use the item accessors for this anymore. We use the data that's in the const pairs. And then we calculate the distance. If a nearest distance, const distance, I'm gonna say car items here to take the first item off of the const, that's the first item of the list. Oh my God. Okay, is that gonna do it? I just got a headache implementing that logic. We're gonna have to fight through all of the errors first, because there will inevitably be errors with the way that I've written this. Bad let in form. This must not have been closed out correctly. Of course not. So let me just make sure I didn't totally screw this up. Let me drop this pen down one level and then indent all this stuff. That looks wrong. I think that was another problem that we needed to solve. Okay, so that binding looks okay. Yep. Lambda, map lambda item, const item, item X, item Y, and we also filter the list too. Lambda item is item kind, item gem, level items, level. Find monster items level. Do I actually have a parameter for that too? I think so. Item kind. That might also need to be a function of its own. Find available items level item kind. I think if I move this, it will seem to make a lot more sense and not be so insane. Because we're gonna have to do it again. Is that right? Maybe. I know I missed something. I'll go back to it. Find available items level gem, because this function is only concerned with gems. This is finding the nearest item. We're going to drop this in too, and that should be the implementation. The append is not finished yet. We need to append the monster items too. So find available items is a procedure. What did Ashra say? If you want to save yourself from the same logic later, you could have a predicate as additional argument. Yes. Peter says, my learning this week, do not pass around X and Y. Yeah, a lot of times I'm passing around const pairs. Sometimes I do pass around X and Y. And yeah, what Ashraz says may be what I need to end up doing. The predicate needs to be passed instead. So is entity type, item kind. Yeah, item predicate, we could say. Item kind. Actually, in this case, just simplifies it. Item predicate. No, you were right, Ashraz. That's right. Find monster items, item predicate. I think I just implemented that, right? Find monster items. Yep. All right, so we got item predicate on both levels, and now inside of Ashra says, I'm currently acting as a liable, what is it? Liable left pad module, yes. You're not liable for any mistakes I make, though. Okay, so we go back to find available items, and the predicate will be Lambda item is item kind, item gem. Okay. That feels a bit better. Now this function doesn't look quite as zany. Unexpected end of input, line 533, check parens. So find nearest item once again is causing the trouble. Let's see, that's okay. That seems to be okay. Maybe the loop is now busted. I think something changed there. There's two parameters, so I think the nearest one. Yeah, we used to have another predicate check in here somewhere, and we took it out because we don't need it anymore. All right, so now let distance, we calculate the distance. If the nearest is greater than the distance, const distance of car items. Otherwise, return the current nearest. Pass that along. Okay, I think that's fine. Oh boy. Unbound top level CDDAR. Really? That isn't available? Alright. We're gonna have to cutter the CDAR. Alright, there we go. Wrong number of arguments to cons. That's funny. 303. And 319. Oh yeah, of course. I'm not making it to a list because I don't want to complicate. Well, am I doing the wrong thing? No. And 303, same issue. Unexpected input. Did I miss? Yeah, I missed a in paren on that. That's fine. So the point of all this is if I can come up with the right algorithm to produce a simple list, then it just plugs into the existing code and I don't have to do anything that special for it to work. Now, in the end, it might not be so easy, and we're about to find out whether that works or not. So let's see what happens when we play the game this time. What else are we looking for? Oh, there's only one item. Let's refresh because that's not going to be helpful. This time, there's only one item. Did I ever update that code? I think it's still only generating one item. Game.sem. I thought I did it. Monster spawn limits. Oh, maybe, excuse me. Generate items. Okay. What? Okay, I see. If random int 2 equals 1. Feels like it's not good enough probability. Let's see. I keep seeing games with only one item, which feels wrong. Come on now, give me a game with... Okay, there's 2 gems at least. So, oh, 3 gems, good. So if I run this, some entities should start picking up items. Or maybe they won't. Car on an empty list, or potentially a list that's carrying an empty list value. And who the hell knows where that is? Find nearest. I'll bet it's in find nearest though. Just need to add some print statements to understand what's going on. Hello to Emmons95 who followed on Twitch. Thank you. Probably I should just print out what we found in find available items, and my guess is that we have some issues with one of the functions that have been written before. So filter, reverse, fold. We were calling what? Car on something? Car items. Oh. Actually, that does make sense. If items is an empty list, just need to return items. Otherwise, we could do this. I don't know though. Maybe that's not actually necessary. Fold. Lambda item items car items predicate car items. This is wrong, isn't it? If predicate item. That could have been the issue right there. Maybe this is not actually necessary in the end. And oh, what am I supposed to do here? If yes, I missed that. Silly little issue. A little too maniac. Okay, let's try again. Once again, we have a cooter this time. Let's see, where are we calling cooter? Cooter nearest. Probably not that, but PK items. Items. Probably not going to help. Well, we're just fighting our way through the last, well, not the last. This is Emacs, yes. It's not a modified Vim. Just fighting our way through some problems here. The game logic is not going to be finished. I mean, I think that we can already see that this is has become a problem now. Never got to the items print. What could it be? Is entity type. What about the item thing that I added? Could it be that? There's no cooter here. Car item type item is kind. Okay. That's fine. I don't think we ever made it inside this, so where is the car coming from? Is filter one of the first things that happens? It might be. Now I'm trying to decide if I want to pull the ripcord and not implement this part. Just because we need to get some other things finished. I don't think it's going to happen though. And I might have to spend a little bit of time on my own later today to just finish up some details so that the game is actually playable for anybody who tries it out. Okay, still got that. I'm not seeing anything. What is going on here? Type check failed? I mean, where are we even reaching in the code at this point? The problem is I don't get an actual stack trace. It's just a WASM stack trace. And I can't tell anything that's really happening. So I really have to go dig through the code and sort of decide where I think it's happening, and then try to add print statements at that location. Find monster items. This would be called from find nearest item. So level lambda item is item kind item gem. Yeah, we just have to keep recompiling until we can at least find an entry point into the problem, and then we can start debugging it. This is the worst part of game jams. Whenever you start dealing with issues that are hard to debug, and then you've just got people watching you flounder around figuring out what the problem is. Okay, worst part of a game jam where you're live streaming it. Let's put it that way. Because game development sometimes is not very easy. All right, finding nearest. Let's see. I don't even get to this PK items, so it's something I'm calling in here. Find available items. We're appending. Filter item predicate, level items level. So we're calling into filter, but I never see filter print anything out. Oh, my fold procedure. Where is fold? Okay, here we go. That must be it. Let me just read over this. Items list. Oh, we don't want that. Bad. If null list, return result. Loop cooter list. Proc on the car of list and the result. Yes. All right, so that should get us somewhere. I think there was one thing I did wrong. For sure. I was checking null of the original list itself. And I think we went to the end of the list. Pair, I'm already checking here. I'm checking null, and that's good enough. I've started using this approach for checking whether something's in the list or not, if it's null or not, because at least you can shortcut early. I think this should work now. At least we made it a little bit farther this time. So were you saying type check failed minus on a, okay, on a const pair. Where are we calling minus? I think that's the distance calculation. Not there, not there. Calc distance. Find nearest item, x1 minus x2, calculate distance right there, EXEY. Oh, EXEY, and then Kadar items and Cooter of Kadar items. Yikes. Oh, ooh. Yeah, that's right, actually. So the first item of the list. So that's like Kadar, actually. That makes sense, actually. Okay, so that was my mistake. Some of these are a mess. If I were to do this the right way, I would decompose everything into much more elemental procedures that are testable and put them together by composition. But I'm in a bit of a hurry, so my feeling that I don't have that luxury is just causing me to make more mistakes. All right, so I think it would be nice if we could see. Okay, actually, this is good because now this guy has the red gem, and now the hero seems to be moving toward him. Is he going towards the exit? Ah, that's not good. Come on. Interesting. Okay, so the game runs at least. Old result. Let's just get rid of that. We're going to delete this extra thing here. We're going to delete this here. What else do we have? Finding nearest. Yeah, he thinks he got it, but he didn't. This monster has one of the gems. Let's try that again. If the game runs, we may just have to move on to, you know, some kind of cleanup here, because right now it's just, this is not a game if you can't win, right? Or lose. It's just a simulator, let's say. It's a dungeon simulator. Okay, so this guy, I mean, he's not going to move for it, but maybe I'll tell him to move for it. How about this? So find item, gem, blue, take item. He got it first. Boom. Now the hero seems to be going for the yellow gem. Let's see if... No, that was random. Yeah, you can't see. I need to get the list of items. So once we find the list of the find available items, I need to kind of inspect those. So let's wrap this. No. Just need to check what the available item list is. What else we have there? Found path, find items. Found path. And find items, finding exit. I don't know if I need to recompile that because I think I changed something in the middle of compilation. Did I use this? Am I a complete idiot? No, it's still a find nearest item. I'm calling find nearest item. And item. Const, item X, item, no. So that's what we want. We don't want to find the nearest item. We want to find the item position. Find nearest item. In this procedure, we need to return. So cdr of nearest. What is that going to be? Nearest. So nearest now gets set to... Yeah, I want it to be the CDAR. I want it to be the const pair. Okay. That wasn't necessarily a problem either, but we do need to check that out. In fact, let me go to find nearest. And let's print that out too. Just to see. This game is more complex than it needs to be, I think. I mean, we're basically, you know, you have a simple script that allows you to assign jobs to the entities, and the job execution logic can be complicated. So there's only... Okay, there needs to be a gem in the level. It can't just be a key. because that makes no sense. So that is kind of a bug. Who could get there first? All right, there we go. Let's get this monster here. Is it Koger? Yeah, Koger. Find item, gem, yellow. Take item. All right, so now finding item. Okay, so it's like trying to find the exit still. What the hell? Looping. Okay. We got rid of that looping print. Found nearest. Gem yellow. At that moment, the nearest may have been the right one. So we need to look at find nearest. This list that comes back right here. Actually, where did I do this already? Right there. That's coming from what? Available. Empty list. That's not true, though. Available is always returning an empty list. Filter item predicate level items level. It makes me wonder if the predicate is not returning true ever. Find nearest item. The lambda is item kind. Okay, so PK is gem. What a mess. BTD, hello, says, bro is a saint in the Church of Emacs using GNU Geeks. Well, yes, I am using both of those things. Let's see. Unexpected syntax and form. Man. I think I'm reaching the limit of my ability to think coherently, and we've only got about, let's say, 15 to 20 minutes left in the stream. I'm just trying to see if I can get through this one problem here, and it's been challenging. So who knows if that's actually what I just added, or if it was something else that is causing this problem. Nearest. Must have been something else. What else did I just change? Some of the stuff that I've already added, I should just kind of stage it, because I feel that I'm losing track of the stuff that I'm changing, and I don't know anymore what is correct or not. So is gem. There was something else I changed too. Was it in find nearest right here? PK found nearest. That one was fine. Yeah, check parents is not telling me anything. EK available. This was also okay as far as I can tell. See you, Alejandro. Appreciate it. How did I do that? Right there. That's exactly what happened. Okay, well, I just need to search for the thing it tells me about. Searching for nearest. I'm trying to map the item type. All right, let's skip that for now. I just need to get reoriented. That's not gonna work. Trev says, I'm on my phone with 15% battery and split screening IRC in the stream. How are we doing? Well, we fixed the pathfinding issue thanks to the pointer that you gave, plus the pointer from someone else in Twitch. But now we're trying to deal with the issue of pathfinding to a monster that has a particular item in its inventory. And we're flaming out quickly. I don't think that one's going to work. Let me find a better example. Okay, so with this one, I think that this character, not Vitak, Javier here, Javer, whatever you want to call him. Find item, gem blue, take item. So I think he'll get there before the hero, but then the hero has to go look for the item. Boom. Yeah, the hero just never finds it. I have no idea what's happening. The hero's just like, oh, I'm done. Someone took the item for me. I'm leaving. So all the items have been picked up now. Find items available. No, I have no idea what's happening. I mean, how am I supposed to know? Something in the functions I added, all these list filtering functions, filter, fold, etc. I think something is wrong, or I'm doing something wrong in one of them, and I'm too tired to think clearly to come to a conclusion. The psychic debugger is offline at this point. Just need to step through everything one by one. All right, so find monster items. We're folding over level entities. I think I'm doing this a little bit backwards. I'm cooking. No, I'm cooking my brain. That's certainly happening. I need to assume that the existing item list already has been filtered correctly. I'm doing extra work here that does not make sense. So this needs to be reversed slightly. Yeah, let me destroy my mind. Are you sure that PK on 362 is properly terminated? 362. I've got some weird lack of indentation because I'm trying to keep it like temporary. 362, maybe I've changed it already. I'm not sure. Thank you to Puerco Pop on Twitch for following. Let me just get back to the thought stream that I had. This is to put everything in the right order. Sorry, in the right format. The item comes first and then the position right after. But I think that needs to be applied to not the entire items list, append items. I think it needs to be applied to the filter. No. Yeah, I'm doing better. I'm doing better on vanilla keybinds. It's not perfect though. It's definitely not perfect. Is entity... let's not do that. Am I adding the same items multiple times? I feel like it's... Yeah, I've got this all out of order here. Let me try that. It does seem to join the line, doesn't it? It joins it to the previous line. Visual Studio? No thanks. All right, so is entity type. If the entity is a monster, in fact, we're going to go even higher and then say items. So if the entity is a monster, maybe I might have done that. So this logic should be reorganized correctly. If the entity is a monster, then I want to append to the existing item list the result of mapping and filtering over the entity items. So we're getting the entity items, and then we're filtering over them with the predicate, looking for gems, let's say, and then we're mapping over all of the items that are found to produce a list of constants with the entity position baked into them. And we're pinning it to the list of items, which could be an empty list, let's say. So if is entity type. And then otherwise, if it's not a monster, then we just return the current items list. And then we start off with an empty, and then we use the level entities. Okay, so that looks better, but I don't know if that fixes the bug. Let's see. I had that completely turned inside out. Very strange way that I had implemented that, but I was kind of like going through a whole refactoring at that moment, so I think that's why I ended up in the wrong layout of the logic. We have like 10 minutes left. Okay, so is this gonna work? Let's get a new one. That could work. But it may not tell us the right story. We need more gems. Man, it's just all keys. That's not going to work. That's not going to work. That's not going to work. We need 2 gems, I think, to make this work. Okay, there we go. So if this monster can grab this gem, find item, gem red, take item. It takes the item. Now it's going after the blue gem, but that might be okay. Now it's going to the exit. That's so weird. So, oh wait. God damn. Find available items. Okay, I am calling find available items. Inside of find nearest item is gem. I don't know. That's not really even telling us anything useful. Actually, it is telling me something useful in that it's never looping over the item in the enemy's... Did I do that? Hold on a second. Entity items set. Add entity item. Const item. Add entity item. When does that get called? It must be getting called. There it is. Add entity item, entity item. Item remove at. Const item, entity items, entity. So it should be in his inventory. You know, we should probably just print that out. For every entity we're looking at, we need to be printing out the inventory. So back in entity to SCM, find monster items, entity items. Let's just write this out. Trev says the logs got so flooded with PK that I started wrapping everything in lists delimited by strings. That's actually not a bad idea. It does get polluted, though. It's really hard to track sometimes. But I think that what you're saying actually is a good idea to make it a bit easier to look at. Because it just keeps writing things every second, and there's so much spew in the output that you can't track it at all. All right, we need an item. Okay, okay, that works. Old Rumen here can grab the... What is the output I'm looking for? Entity items? How are we not getting there? Find monster items. Find monster items. We're appending. Find available items. Let available. We're setting that here. Find available items. Find available items. It's being used. Find. How do we never get there? Is entity type entity monster? Did I screw that up? Entity type entity type. Entity monster. Hold up. I think there is a very old decision that I made back in setting up entities, make entity. This is why we're having trouble right now. Let me show you exactly what's going on. Based on the type, I'm using different types. Guy, demon, hero. So to say that something is a monster, it has to be one of guy and demon. I guess that makes sense. But the is entity type, I think it needs to be more like define is monster. What a headache. Entity. Then it's a case on entity type, entity. And then the case will be guy, demon, true. And then else, false. This is why you need unit tests. Is entity type. It's also why you need sleep, because I didn't get enough last night and I'm totally losing it. Is monster entity. That's not actually really the way. Monster question mark is probably better of a predicate name, but whatever. All right. Rumen is going to ruminate on these gems. Yeah, Rumen is going to never win. Because I'm already over time, and I think I only just figured out how to get this to work. So now we should be able to see the hero find a gem in the enemy's pocket. No, it's hot as hell in Greece, and you can't sleep if it's so hot. You have the window open, and your idiot neighbors have their house alarms going off all night. And, you know, cats meowing loudly and people driving by with loud music. So, you know, just domestic bliss. The trappings of domestic bliss. All right, so let's get this guy. What's his name? Boohead. Let's get good old Boohead here. I think they missed a couple T's in that name. So find item. You gotta sleep on the bathroom floor? No thanks. Find item, gem yellow. Take item. So good old Boohead here is going to grab that item. And the hero is going to grab the blue gem. And now the hero should come after old Boohead here. And it stopped. But it reconsidered. Yeah, it's chasing him around a little bit. But by this point, the hero should have killed Boohead and gotten his item. All right. So that logic is more or less working now. It's just that we need to finish the rest, and I don't have time anymore. Like, I've literally run up against my limit for how much time I have. There's a few things left that need to be done. We look at our to-do list. In fact, let me just get rid of all this crap. Entity items. Let me get rid of all this crap without breaking the code, because that's going to be even worse. I find it interesting that it's telling me that I don't have the right number of parentheses anymore. Ah, it's because I have too many closing. What? There we go. Found nearest. We're just going to clean this up a little bit just to make sure the output is not completely bonkers. Purple G says, this is why nerds move to the woods. The mosquitoes are worse there, though. I need an ice cream? Yeah, I need an ice cream that has like a pint of whiskey in it. All right, so we've appended. Yeah, let's get rid of this whole thing right here, because that's all just noise. All right, let's just recompile. I'm going to commit this, and then maybe I'll have time later to go back to it and see if I can finish up some of the game stuff, but I don't know how much time I'll have today. I am going to submit anyway. I don't care if it's not fully working. I'll just say that it's not fully working in the submission and let the chips fall where they may. Yes, Rage, the game is already online. If you go to fluxharmonic.itch.io, then Lambda Dungeon is right there as the first list, entering the list, and you can play it right there in the browser. Let me check the output here and make sure that everything is copacetic. Let's just run it. Is gem. Don't need that. Is that it? PK. Can't find path. Existing action. Unknown action. Check for item. Entity has item. I think that's the thing I wanted right there. Puerco Cop says, important thing about the jam is the journey, not the destination. Yes, that's right. That's the whole point of the fun. Okay, I'll drop it in the chat there, Rage. fluxharmonic.itch.io/lambda-dungeon. Let me just copy that in. Boom, boom, boom. All right, that works. It's in the Twitch chat now. And I think now if I just, run this one more time, I should be able to see that the output is cleaned up. Oh, no. 342. At least it tells me what line it's on. 342. I don't know what key binding moves you to a specific line yet. 342. Okay. I must have not cleaned up one of these. Is it that one? This is where I get myself into trouble. I start deleting all these PKs that are wrapping things. And then I delete one too many parens. And then I have no idea what's happening and logic starts breaking. This is what happened to some of the pathfinding stuff. Shit, it's doing it again. Nearest. Yep, right there. I see that the let got closed early. I'm telling you that I think that PK is a liability. Still? Right there. Yeah, okay. There we go. That's it. Ret in compilation buffer. To do what? Oh, you mean to jump to the line? Yeah, that's true. That's true. I just forget about that sometimes. Arnaud says, meta GG. Ah, yes, I think that sounds about right. Hello to Fuming Max, and thank you for following on Twitch. Let's just see if the output's cleaned up now, because I don't want to see all that spam. Okay, good. That's much better. Hero grabbed that one. The hero's going to start heading toward the exit now. I think, well, I'm not going to say it would be easy to do any of the other logic necessary, because as we've seen, everything I said was easy has not been easy. So, let's just check the hubris a little bit. Finding exit. Where is that? Find. Okay. I'm going to commit this code, and we're going to call it done for now. Like I said, if I have time, I'm going to finish all that I can. What did I just implement? Implement hero finding items held by monsters. We did that. We did not implement the hero win condition yet. We still need to implement battle. I don't know if we're going to have an attack command. Monster win condition would be killing the hero, basically. Hero teleportation is still happening a little bit, and it seems to be happening after a job is completed. Like, it just gets sent back to the previous position for some reason. Hard coding of positions. I did that. So at least that's cleaned up now. All right, so we have fixed some things, and now we still have some stuff left to do. All right, let's just finish the check-in, and we'll be heading out here. Yeah, I'll leave those in just in case I need them. One last thing in notes file. Ensure that at least one gem is generated, because otherwise there's no point. I mean, honestly, it may be that all three need to be generated. Perhaps all three every time, because otherwise having only one doesn't make sense. So maybe the locked doors are what gets randomly generated, but the gems are always getting picked every time. I think that is definitely needed. Okay, now what did we accomplish here? Hero can find items. Hero can reach the exit and find items held by monsters. Three hours, and that's all we got. Gene says you could use square brackets around the PK to spot them easily. That's a good point. Hadn't thought about that. Okay, so the newest code has been pushed, ci.codeberg. The CI will take a little bit of time before it kicks out the new build. Maybe another couple minutes, and then once that's done, the build will be up on the fluxharmonic.itch.io page, and you'll be able to check out what we've got so far. I've had a lot of fun this week streaming this live, this game jam. Next time, we're going to do something a little bit less ambitious, or maybe less complicated, let's say. I would like to be ambitious in a different way, maybe in a way that the game looks better in the end and isn't so hard to fix, weird issues. But, I think that we accomplished a lot. And I'm proud of what's been accomplished. I am remorseful over the fact that it didn't fully get done, but that's okay. You know, sometimes it just can't happen. But I'll submit anyway before the deadline, and then we'll see what we do for the next one. I don't know when the next game jam is that I'll do. There's always the Ludum Dare at some point, and definitely the August Lisp Game Jam. Let's see, Ludum Dare. They always have them a few times a year. Let's see, September, it looks like. Why do they have 2? Oh, that's 2023. October. Okay, so October, and then there will be the autumn Lisp Game Jam, which will also be in the fall sometime. So at some point we'll do another game jam, maybe on this channel. It might be on Flux Harmonic, who knows? It depends on whether people yell at me for streaming so many times on System Crafters doing game programming, because it's not really part of the concept of the channel. But I don't know. Does it matter? Who cares? If you are watching this, if you reach the end of all the game jam videos, or you've been watching the stream, and you think, I really don't want to see any more game stuff on this channel, you can let me know. Otherwise, I may just do it again. Okay, thank you all so much for your time this week. I really appreciate everybody who joined and kind of kept up with the progress. There's been many of you who've been kind of following along and trying to help. So I'm very thankful for that. It's been really fun for me. Hopefully it's been fun for you too. Keep an eye out for me publishing the quote-unquote final game to the jam. And we may work on it again at some point in the future if I don't have PTSD after all this. Purple G says, what is game dev if not system crafting? Yes, it is system crafting of a different type. I mean, it's programming, and in System Crafters we are talking about programming a lot, because you kind of have to do some programming to do the things that we do. So I feel like it's fair game somewhat. Okay, I got to get out of here now. Like I said, thank you so much for watching, and if you haven't subscribed to System Crafters yet, subscribe either on Twitch or YouTube. Also, I wanted to point out that if you want to learn Scheme, and you don't know Scheme, and you're wondering what the hell I'm doing this whole time, but clearly I know how to write Scheme, so I can teach you how to write Scheme with my hands-on Guile Scheme for Beginners course. It's a live plus pre-recorded course. It's basically like a cohort course where you and the other participants join up starting on June 8th for an 8-week course where there's pre-recorded material that teaches you the fundamentals of Scheme, functional programming, practical development with Guile Scheme, and then how to build full applications with Guile Scheme. So if you are interested in learning Scheme, check out the page that you can find from systemcrafters.net. If you go to systemcrafters.net, there's a link here to check out hands-on Guile Scheme for Beginners. And it's got a lot of stuff in there. The page tells you all the details. There's 4 live Q&A sessions where you'll get to chat with me and the other participants about the content and the exercises and everything. Full list telling you what kind of things we cover in the course. It's a lot of fun, and I hope to see some of you there. So please feel free to send me any questions you have about the course if you're interested. And yeah, that's it. So Gene says, I really want to see more game stuff on this channel. Well, you might. We'll see. I would like to do more. That's for sure. Okay, last time I'll say it. Thank you all so much. And until next time, happy hacking.